Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and I know Arc is all the rage in episode Heresy for Destiny 2, but I wanted to make a Void Titan build for you guys to check out, as I've been really enjoying the brand new Lotus Eater rocket frame sidearm, which is absolutely insane. I was able to get one, not adept unfortunately, but it does have repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds, so I wanted to lean into that Void aspect for this build. Now, some of these weapons are interchangeable. I was just using them for fun in the expert version of the Court of Blades. Again, if you are playing that activity, hold off until next week, once we are going to get buffed drop rates for adept versions of those weapons as well. Anyway, as far as the build, like I mentioned, Lotus Eater is a excellent option for a lot of different builds, but if you really lean into it with these perks, it can be insane. Then we've got Refusal to Call. Now, you can use a fusion rifle or something like that does more damage to bosses if you so choose, but I wanted to use this because it's new and I enjoy checking it out. And then as far as the heavy, this is a bit of a meme with Deterministic Chaos, but I think it actually does pretty decent damage with some of the artifact perks this season. And overall, I just wanted to use something a bit different outside of just the Hammerhead or the Eyes Unveiled, those common weapons that I've been using this season, or even something like Queenbreaker. So I wanted to mix it up, and you can really change this out. It's not going to be a big of a deal as far as the build goes. It's really focused on Lotus Eater, to be honest. As far as the actual abilities, we got Twilight Arsenal, we got Towering Barricade, then we got the Shield Throw. I like this one a lot for that quick overshield, especially as you get higher levels in the Court of Blades. Then we've got a Vortex Grenade, as well as Bastion. This is going to give me that overshield like I mentioned. And then also Controlled Demolition. This is so I can make enemies explode. I'm trying to make enemies volatile as much as possible with this. Fragments. We got Undermining, so I can weaken targets with my Void Grenades. We've got Cessation. This is going to, when defeating volatile targets, create a Void Breach. I'm going to do that very consistently. Echo of Harvest, so defeating weakened targets, whether with my grenade or with some of the artifact perks, I will get an Orb of Power and a Void Breach. And then finally, we've got the Echo of Starvation, so I pick up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power and I get Devour. So I constantly have an overshield, whether it's with destabilizing rounds or repulsor brace, or with the barricade as well, that I'm also getting Devour constantly, so I am able to stay alive all the time. This is helped out by Mask of the Quiet One, which I think is rather underrated. Dreaded Visage grants ability energy when I'm damaged, while you have Void super equipped, rapid final blows, and final blows while critically wounded grants Devour. So pretty much 100% uptime on Devour. This is really nice if you're taking on something like a Grandmaster Nightfall or other high level activity where you're taking a lot of damage. As far as the armor mods, I've got on the Heavy Ammo Finder, Ashes to Assets, and Void Siphon. Void Siphon you could double up there if you so choose as well. Heavy Handed, Momentum Transfer, Melee Kickstart. Then we got Void Reserves, damage resist of whatever you need. Concussive Dampener is pretty commonly used because I just think it's very valuable. Then we've got Absolution, Better Already, Void Weapon Search. You can swap these out if you want as well. And then finally we've got Time Dilation, Redistribution, and Reaper. All of those combine, I think, well to generate a lot of orbs, have some really high uptime for your abilities as well, and all that, and I think it works out really, really well in general. As far as the artifact perks, I'm starting in the last column, and that is going to be Void Flux, so defeating weakened targets with a Void Weapon applies Volatile. This is why it's so important. This is why I run a Void Heavy as well, so that way when I'm defeating targets, especially like minors and major enemies, it is going to be one that I think is very, very useful for applying more volatile overall, which I think is nice. Again, Deterministic Chaos does that as well. Limit Break, casting a super while I'm critically wounded, or have an elemental buff, which I will pretty much all the time with Devour, and also the Overshield will allow me to do increased super damage with my axes, which I think is really, really nice. No Bell, this is so that way if I do use my glaive, I will get additional special ammo for it. You got a Horde Shuttle defeated. This is why I'm using a Strand weapon in my kinetic slot, so defeating unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a Threadling. Maligned Harvest, so rapidly applying volatile causes your next instance of Void Weapon to create a weakening burst. Again, weakening, volatile, all that kind of synergizes really well. Hold the Line is nice, so that way machine gun while using machine guns or glaives while surrounded gains increased reload speed and stability, and final blows heal you. So that works again. Devour, you're essentially healing all the time. Elemental Siphon. Rapid weapon final blows with kinetic weapon, or this is a more important part, weapon matching your equipped super, creates elemental pickup that matches your equipped super. So obviously those void breaches are going to be all over the place. Unraveling orbs, so picking up an orb of power or tango grants unraveling rounds to my strand weapon. And then finally volatile marksman, so rapid final void weapon precision hits and rapid final blows grants volatile rounds. Yeah, so a lot of that, some of that may be overkill, I think, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much anytime I'm using these weapons, I'm pretty much always going to have volatile rounds. Now, because I already have destabilizing rounds on the Lotus Eater, it does feel a little bit excessive to have all of those, but if you have a different roll on your sidearm, that's why you can go with a different combination if you so choose, or you can make sure you just pretty much always have volatile back to back, which is also very nice as well, especially when you are facing heavier waves of enemies, when you have more enemies nearby. And this rocket sidearm, I will say, one of the best parts about running a rocket sidearm, in my opinion, is the ability to run double special because of the way the ammo works. And so I either run, like I said, a glaive, which is not very heavy on ammo at all. I use it for stunning unstopped champions. I also use it for the melee in order to get some final blows there, in order to heal myself and also generate some additional ammo if I'm running low. And that combination works really, really well. Again, if you run a fusion rifle instead of the glaive, that can also work as well. There are certain weapons that might not work as well, like you don't want to run double rocket sidearm necessarily, but I do feel like double special is a very good option in the sandbox right now for Destiny 2, which I'm really enjoying. I know not everybody is comfortable running double special, especially if they run low on ammo. It's not really as viable if you are running a trace rifle, for example, simply because of how much ammo you often use with them and how little you recharge. The nice thing about the rocket sidearms is you're able to kill enemies so quickly that you don't really burn through ammo nearly as fast. Now, some other things to remember with this build is that you can be very flexible with it. Like I said, if you want to swap some things out, I was using a similar thing with the Hollow Denial, which I had Lead from Gold and Repulsor Brace instead of the Rocket Sidearm, and it still works very, very well. Maybe not as well with the double special, but I do feel like it is a viable option there as well. And again, then you're still getting volatile rounds all the time, so it almost makes your Hollow Denial supercharge, which I think is very, very fun. So lots of different options there depending on what you want to run. You can also run a Void SMG in place of that if you so choose, or a Void AR. But overall, the Lotus Eater is so good, I recommend using it. It's probably going to be just as good as well in a prismatic build, so you could also run that as well, but I just prefer this option overall. And that's pretty much going to do it for the build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I have some more that I'm working on that'll be ready for when the new update drops on Tuesday at Reset. I feel like there's going to be a lot more viable options at that point for some other unique builds with some new weapons coming, as well as some new artifact perks as well that I'm really looking forward to. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.